Hello friends, this is Dr. Kishore Kumar. Today I am going to discuss on the basic introduction of enzymes. So this particular session I am going to discuss, I am trying to give you few basics regarding enzymes. So we should understand by end of this topic about their importance and their significance in a cells. So we can also be assumed that the living cell has to perform many metabolic conditions or many metabolic reactions which are to be guided by these enzymes. Unless until without the helping of this enzyme, no metabolic activity in the living cell cannot to be possible. So in this particular sense, here we are going to discuss about the basic introduction of the enzymes. So coming to the enzymes, the word which is coming from the Greek, right? Greek, the enzyme mean that can present in the living. En mean in, enzyme mean living. So these are the complex molecules that can be present in the living cell. So we oftenly call them as biocatalyst or organic catalyst, right? Enzyme is a common name, and we also call with the different names. One is biocatalyst, second one is organic catalyst. So here we should understand the catalyst. The word itself is a very important, because if we know the definition of catalyst, then we can understand the function of the enzyme. What do you mean by catalyst? Catalyst is nothing but these are the chemical agents that can be involved in the reaction, and it can make the reaction to be happen very faster and finally without involving by the catalyst. So this we should understand. So this is like an facilitator, so that can encourage the reaction to be going forward, but without involving in the particular reactions, right? So if you see the structure as which I've represented here, so this is high molecular weight proteins. This is very important to understand. This is high molecular weight proteins. So what does it mean? It can be made up of proteins, right? So it is made up of proteins mean the ultimate raw material for the enzyme is amino acid. There are 20 different amino acids that can be present. These can be involved in the making of enzymes. And so coming to the discovery and their landmark inventions in this particular enzymes. So first, this word enzyme is coined by the Kuhne, all right, Kuhne in 1878. And here I am going to give you only the landmark discoveries or inventions which are related with these enzymes, right? And the Buchner is first extracted, that is from the yeast extract and yeast cells, and he showed that the extract of the yeast cells is having the this enzyme, having the enzymes. That's what he has proved in 1897. And this is the first purified enzyme, that is urease, isolated from jack bean, done by the James B. Sumner in 1926. Right, then only the enzymology, which is nothing but study of enzymes, has been progressed, and so far we are having a data of n number of enzymes and their functionality and their substrates, right? And one of the very important thing we should understand that if you take any kind of the enzymes, definitely most of them will have an optimum activity or optimum, what you say, it's an the nature to encourage the reaction, that the temperature we call optimum temperature. The optimum temperature is around 25 to 40 degrees, right? This is important. And so coming to the few basics which are related with these enzymes, that is almost all enzymes are proteins, right, as we discussed in earlier. And however, there is an some exceptional. That is nothing but ribozyme and ribonuclease P. These are all non-protein enzymes. So these are all enzymes, but which are non-protein enzymes. They are made up of RNA molecule. Every cell produces its own enzymes because they can't move from cell to cell due to high molecular weight. This is important because so the cell has to be produce its own enzymes according to its needs. So this is not possible to transferring from one cell to other cell because of that high molecular weight which is associated with the enzymes. And the maximum enzymes in a cell are found in the mitochondria. And if you see, the smallest enzyme is peroxidase and the largest enzyme is catalase, and it is found in peroxisomes. Clear? These are all few important points which are related with the enzymes. As I discussed that the optimum temperature is 25 to 45 degrees and optimum pH is near to neutral pH, right? These have to be various factors that can be influenced in the enzyme activity. Anyway, that particular part I'm going to discuss in the coming sessions. And here there is a term that we frequently use. This term we will call activation energy. So whenever you speak about the enzymes, then this activation energy, we will speak about activation energy. So what do you mean by activation energy? That we should understand. So here, activation energy, this is better understood with the help of this particular diagram. This is energy diagram. You can see this is a reactant, right? A reactant, it wants to convert into product. It has to be crossed in the threshold height. The threshold height, what we call it as activation energy, right? That is activation barrier. So the activation barrier, if the reactant is crossed, then it can convert it into product. So here you should remember that here how it is to be converting product, that is because of push, right? So here push is called energy of activation or activation energy for that particular reaction, which can be written in EA, that is activation energy. It's clear? So whenever we think about activation energy, that is nothing but there is a push that is associated with this reaction to forward and finally produce the products. That is called activation energy. Then we should have a clear-cut idea now how enzymes work. This is important because we know activation energy. Then what is the basic principle of this enzymes work? Because these enzymes can carry out almost all metabolic pathways. So how does this enzyme is work is important to know, right? The energy required for substrate to react in order to get converted into product is called energy of activation. That's what I've elaboratedly discussed in a previous slide. And so how it can happen? So this is simple. The first of all, the enzyme which can combine with the substrate and form the enzyme substrate complex. This ES, the enzyme substrate complex, which is to be very short-lived complex. So if this complex is stable and if it is decrease the activation energy, then the enzyme substrate complex which is proceeded further and it can convert into product and finally the enzyme is released. Clear? Here what is the importance of enzyme substrate complex? Importance of enzyme substrate complex is to be making of reactions, the decreasing of or lowering of activation energy of the reactions, right? Making of activation energy. So the lowering of activation energy of any reaction that is leading into the conversion to the product. So that's how the enzymes can work, right? And if you see, there are few things which are associated with the nomenclature of enzymes. Here, this is to be an tribal name and this is to be an scientific name, right? So here you can see to the my left side, all enzymes which can be, the tribal names are very famous for most of the enzymes, but when you going for the as for the nomenclature, so the right side is the characters. So here, if you see the left side, all enzymes end with A's at the last and identifies the reacting substrate. This is important. For example, if you take sucrase, nothing but it can catalyze the sucrose. Describe the function of the enzyme. This is related with the tribal names. So tribal names are nothing but common names. For example, oxidases catalyze the oxidation, and this could be a common name. So we will call it as common name, right? So, but these common names which are varies from region to region, even nation to nation. So that's what there is a special kind of nomenclature which is to be given for the enzymes, right? This can be done with the International Union of Biochemistry and Enzymes. That so this commission has appointed a committee that is called Enzyme Commission. This Enzyme Commission is looking into the giving of nomenclature of various enzymes that can be present in this entire nature, right? So here the first part is the name of the substrate for the enzyme. Second part is these are all things which I am elaboratively discussed in the coming slide, right? You can see here. So the International Union of Biochemistry has appointed a commission that is called Enzyme Commission. This is in 1961. So this commission is taking care about giving up the nomenclature to the new discovery enzymes, right? This nomenclature, which is not based on the amino acid sequence or protein structure or chemical mechanism. That is important. Clear? It is not taking consideration about these three characters. So that is important for the next sentence point of view. And EC number. So they are given, each and every enzyme should have an EC number, that is enzyme commission number. So this EC number should have the 4 letters. That is here for a simple representation, I have given 4 digits or 4 letters. So here I have given A, B, C, D, right? So here A will represent the class, B is subclass, C is subclass, D is again subclasses. So here B and C, which is described the reaction, what kind of the reaction that enzyme is doing. And the D last one, this is different enzymes of the same function based on actual substrate in the reaction, right? So this is to be unimportant. If you want to give a nomenclature, so the nomenclature has to be follow this enzyme commission rule. So each and every enzyme should have 4 digits, that is reference class, subclass, subclass, and so on, right? So in clear details here we will understand about the classification of enzymes. According to Enzyme Commission, the enzymes can be classified into 6 different types that we will given EC1, EC1, EC2, EC3, 4, 5, 6. This is major class, and there are subclasses and subclasses, and everything should be included in this main class. So this is enzyme main classification is 6. One is oxidoreductases, second one transferases, third one hydrolases, fourth one lyases, fifth one isomerases, sixth one ligases. So here I am trying to explain in a very simple manner what are these type of enzymes which are classified under these, right? First one, this is EC number is 1. So oxidoreductases, the name itself indicates these particular enzymes will be involved in the oxidation reduction reactions. So what do you mean by oxidation, or what do you mean by reduction? This is simple. The transfer of hydrogen and oxygen atom or electrons from one substrate to other. So this is important. One thing is oxidized and other substrate is to be reduced, right? In a simple example which I mentioned here, you can see X H2 plus Y, where these hydrogens are shifted into the Y. So the Y is to be reduced and X is to be oxidized. The best example for this category of enzymes is dehydrogenases. All dehydrogenases enzymes will comes with the EC1, and reductases and oxidases. Clear? Then the second classification is transferases. So the name itself indicates transfer. So it can transfer the group. What are the groups it can transfer? There are only few specific groups like methyl, acyl, amino, and phosphate groups. These can be transferred from one molecule to other molecule. We'll call transferases. This is the second class of second classification or second class. So you can see here Ax plus B, where X is to be transferred to the B from the A. So the best example comes with this enzymes is transaminases and kinases. Kinases will transfer the phosphate group, transaminases will transfer the amino group. These are one of the best examples which are under the transferase classification. And coming to the third one, hydrolases. Hydrolases, the name itself indicates this particular reaction should require water molecule for its activity. So you can see here the reaction. So water molecule will be splitted into H plus OH minus. So here OH is added to the X and H is to the A, right? So for its activity, the water molecule is compulsory. The best example for this activity is lipases, esterases, amylases, peptidases, proteases, right? These are all like digestive enzymes, right? Most of them which are involved for the making of a complex molecule to the simple molecules. And then the fourth one is lyases. So lyases is nothing but non-hydrolytic removal or addition of groups from the substrate. That is nothing but carbon to carbon bonding or carbon to nitrogen, carbon to oxygen, carbon to sulfur bonds may be split. These type of things we will call lyases. All right. This is not hydrolytic removal. There are both the ways it can be possible. Whether it can remove the groups or it can add the groups. Right. Ax plus By you can see here. So sometimes it can make the double bond also. If it is removing, making the double bond at the removing position. Clear? So best examples are decarboxylases, aldolases, dehydratases, deaminases, and synthases. These are comes with the best example. All DNA polymerase, RNA polymerase will be best example for this lyases. And next classification is isomerases. Isomerases is very simple, the change of substrate into related form by intramolecular rearrangement. That's what we call it as isomerism. So isomerism means without changing of structural formula, there is a rearrangement of groups within the structure. That is called isomerases. So the best example is isomerases, epimerases. Isomerases will transfer cis to trans. Epimerases will transfer dextro to levo, that is D to L. And coming to the last classification of enzymes is called ligases, right? Ligases, here you can ligase means that is nothing but joining of two molecules with that is nothing but you can see carbon to oxygen, carbon to sulfur, carbon to nitrogen, carbon bonds with a simultaneous breakdown of ATP. This is very important. So the ligases activity, it has to require ATP. So where the ATP is hydrolyzed and the energy, when it is hydrolyzing, certain energy is released. That energy is utilized by the making of that particular reactions. So those are comes under ligases. You can see A plus B equal to AB. So here AB is mixed. So that is combined. So this is with the help of ATP hydrolysis. So when ATP is going for hydrolysis, it can give ADP plus pyrophosphate. The best example for this is synthetases and carboxylases. These are the best example for this category. All right. So friends, so far we discussed about the various basic points of the enzymes, and here we are majorly concentrated on classification of enzymes. This is important because according to the classification only, then the new discovery enzymes or new invented enzymes can be given a number, that is EC number, that is depending on this major classification, right? Which is to be unique to entire the globe. So whatever the EC number that can existing in India, and that is same in any other countries. All right, and we will see you in the next video about their mechanism of action. So friends, take care, bye bye, and see you in the next video.